Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back! Welcome back to Boxtoberfest, where we are opening up a different box from a different CCG every single day in October. So today is the 8th, and is apparently National Heroes Day, which is why Laura picked out the Power Rangers game to be opened today. So this is a weird one. I think this is a booster box, although it looks like it might be blisters or whatever. This might just be how Bandai did their booster boxes. Happy to say this is, happy to admit this is one of the games which I've researched the least on for this month. But I do like Power Rangers. So what I can at least tell is there is 120 cards in the set. There are 30 rares, 10 super rares, and 5 ultra rares, with the rest then being commons. So, okay, I thought this was it's a booster box. It's a box of blisters. But this is what was listed as a booster box everywhere, so I'm taking it. Alright, so the back of the blister has a bit more information. So take your game to the next level with the Deluxe Morpher. So the cards all have like barcodes and stuff on, so that must work with that. Scan cards with the free Power Rangers card scanner app to unlock videos. It says, each pack has 10 randomly selected cards. 6 commons, 3 rares, and 1 special insert, which is either a super rare or an ultra rare. So this game might actually be easier to complete than I thought. It also says collect all 90 cards in the Rise of Hero Booster series, which is very weird because the checklist I looked at definitely had 120 cards on it. So, I don't know. Let's just open these up and have a look. I'll pull all the rest of the packs out of the blisters off camera so you don't have to watch that every time. But let's get this first one out. So it just says again, collect all 90 cards. So maybe the cards are just numbered 1 to 90, and then 91 through 120. Because I've seen pictures of them numbered up to 120. I don't know. We'll see exactly what's going on here in a moment. So what's this? We're just having a little advertisement for collect them all. Scan cards with your smartphone to unlock cool videos and more. I'll maybe do that later. I mean, the app probably doesn't even exist anymore. This was released, I think, back in 2013. It said it was for the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers. So collect them all. Available in Megaforce toys and the card game. Point the app. Do the thing with the morpher. Anyway. Let's look at some actual cards. So we're starting out with commons. Commons have an empty circle. Rares have a filled-in circle. Super rares have a outline of a star, and then ultra rares have the filled-in star. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this card because of like all of the scanning stuff. Anyway, it's a red Samurai Ranger, a blue RPM Ranger, blue Megaforce Ranger. These are still the commons. Black Megaforce Ranger. Pink Samurai Ranger, High Octane Megazord. So these move on to the rares, which, as I say, they filled in circle. Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, Cerator, and White Mighty Morphin Ranger. And then this is a super rare because it just has the outline, and this is the white. Ooh, really did something to the camera there. White Mighty Morphin Ranger. So the other thing to note as well is they do have, before the collector number, it's 1 dash and then the collector number, so you know it's from set 1. And I'm definitely looking at scans on my laptop of 1 dash up to 120, so this pack will not open. So who knows what happened actually. Maybe they did 90 here and they released, they have tear strips on them. Well done, Dan. Maybe they then released the 91 to 120 through some other means. If I can figure out what it is, it will be on the Patreon write-up, and then maybe it'll be on another video in future. Right, so we get one of those in every pack. We got Black Megaforce Ranger, Blue RPM Ranger, Red RPM Ranger, Red Megaforce Ranger, Green RPM Ranger, Pink Samurai Ranger. Onto our rares, we have Red Super Samurai Ranger, Yellow RPM Ranger, and Black Mighty Morphin Ranger, one of the classics. And then we have a super rare of Master Xandred. With so few cards in the set, and the fact that, you get 3 rares per pack, it seems like that this stack 15 should hopefully give me at least the commons and the rares, and probably the majority of the super rares and ultra rares. Alright, we've got a black RPM Ranger, blue RPM Ranger, blue Megaforce Ranger, yellow Megaforce Ranger, yellow RPM Ranger, red Megaforce Ranger, the rares Beetlezord, white Mighty Morphin Ranger, black Mighty Morphin Ranger, and a super rare of Decker. I actually think if there was no duplicates between the super rares and ultra rares, this blister box could actually give us all of them, because there was 10 super rares and 5 ultra rares, so, and there's 15 packs in this, so it could potentially be everything. Who knows? Alright, we got a pink Megaforce Ranger, red Samurai Ranger, Mooga, blue Megaforce Ranger, red Samurai Ranger, blue Megaforce Ranger. Our rares are red RPM Ranger, yellow Mighty Morphin Ranger, pink Mighty Morphin Ranger, and our super rare is the Valvemax Megazord. I honestly barely know anything outside of original Mighty Morphin, so I'm learning too. Alright, we got yellow RPM Ranger, red Megaforce Ranger, black Megaforce Ranger, red Samurai Ranger, a black Megaforce Ranger, high Octane Megazord. I don't really know what this is. That must just be something to do with that thing that goes on your arm. Pink Mighty Morphin Ranger, that's our first rare. Yellow RPM Ranger, blue Mighty Morphin Ranger, and we have our first ultra rare, so this is the red Samurai Ranger in Shark Attack mode. And it's very, very gold. I did just double check the list that I had, because I'd said 30 rares and 10 and 5, whatnot. The 91 to 120 bit has 2 rares in that, so there's, I guess, technically 28 rares that we're left with. They're not rares, they're uncommons, but they're called rares. Black Megaforce Ranger, pink Megaforce Ranger, yellow Megaforce Ranger, green RPM Ranger, pink Megaforce Ranger, yellow Megaforce Ranger. Our rares, red Mighty Morphin Ranger, Vrak, green Super Samurai Ranger, and we have another super rare, which is the Tiger Drill Megazord. Okay. We've got a pink Megaforce Ranger, red RPM Ranger, green Samurai Ranger, yellow Megaforce Ranger, blue Megaforce Ranger, blue Megaforce Ranger, our rares, blue Super Samurai Ranger, black RPM Ranger, green RPM Ranger, and another ultra rare, which is the Swordfish Fencer Megazord. I've never heard of any of these before. So at least 2 out of the 5 ultra rares, I guess. I think there is one ultra rare just of the original Megazord, so I hope I get that one. We have a blue Samurai Ranger, pink Megaforce Ranger, green RPM Ranger, red Megaforce Ranger, blue RPM Ranger, Grinders, a rares, black Mighty Morphin Ranger, red Mighty Morphin Ranger, blue Mighty Morphin Ranger, and oh, so it's an ultra rare of the Battle Mode Dragon Megazord. So I do actually know this one. This was Green Ranger's Megazord. Very nice. We'll always take some Green Ranger stuff. I personally was always a big fan of the Blue Ranger, because he was the nerdy one. But Green Ranger, White Ranger was obviously the guy. He was the number one. Anyway, Yellow RPM Ranger. Just reminiscing now. Yellow Samurai Ranger. Yellow Megaforce Ranger. Black Megaforce Ranger. Black RPM Ranger. Red Megaforce Ranger. Our rares, Pink Super Samurai Ranger. Cerator. And Octordo. And then we have a super rare this time of the High Octane Megazord from RPM. Next up. Oh, come on. There we go. Right. So we have Loogie, Black RPM Ranger, Pink Megaforce Ranger, Aquazord Brothers, Green RPM Ranger, Blue Megaforce Ranger, our rares Red Super Samurai Ranger, Pink Super Samurai Ranger, Green Mighty Morphin Ranger, and a super rare of Deca. So this is the first duplicate on a super rare, so it does mean that we're not going to get the complete set of super and ultra rares. But to be honest, there'd be no fun in it if you were, guaranteed a complete set from one box, because then there'd be no real collectability to it. You'd just be buying a complete set. Alright, we've got a Pink Megaforce Ranger, Red Megaforce Ranger, Yellow Megaforce Ranger, Yellow Megaforce Ranger, Red Samurai Ranger, Pink Samurai Ranger, our rares Pink Mighty Morphin Ranger, Black RPM Ranger, Blue Mighty Morphin Ranger, and we have a super rare of the Red Mighty Morphin Ranger. So far we've got 3 out of the 5 ultra rares, and we have, I think, 7 out of the 10 super rares plus 1 duplicate. So already it's not too bad, from one box. All right. We have a Red RPM Ranger, Black Megaforce Ranger, Green Samurai Ranger, Red Megaforce Ranger, Pink Megaforce Ranger, Black Megaforce Ranger. Our rares, the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger, Vrak, Green Mighty Morphin Ranger, and a super rare of Gold Samurai Ranger. A few more packs to go still. We have a Black RPM Ranger, Loogie, Red RPM Ranger, Pink Megaforce Ranger, Aquazord Brothers, Red Megaforce Ranger, rares Yellow Mighty Morphin Ranger, Red Super Samurai Ranger. Is that Dave? D-A-Y-V? Dave or Dayu. And we have a super rare of the Samurai Megazord. Alright, second to last pack. Be really nice if we could hit another ultra rare, and if it was that original Megazord, that would be very nice. But just one of the 2 missing ultra rares out of these would be nice. Anyway, Black Megaforce Ranger, Yellow Megaforce Ranger, Blue Megaforce Ranger, Red Megaforce Ranger, Grinders, Yellow Megaforce Ranger. Our rares, Blue Super Samurai Ranger, Black Mighty Morphin Ranger, Stiletto, and a super rare of the Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, so that is another duplicate super rare. Alright, final pack. Let's see if we can get another ultra rare. Alright, we have the Terrazord Brothers, Red Megaforce Ranger, Muga, Pink Megaforce Ranger, Yellow RPM Ranger, Black Megaforce Ranger, Beetlezord, oh that's our first rare, Beetlezord, Pink Mighty Morphin Ranger, Blue RPM Ranger, and our final card, well, it is just a super rare, but it's a super rare of the Green Mighty Morphin Ranger, so I'll absolutely take that. Alright, let's do a quick check over the ultra rares and super rares at least. Alright, so unless I miscounted on my checklist, we did actually get all of the super rares. So Samurai Megazord, High Octane Megazord, Gold Samurai Ranger, Master Xandred, Deca, Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, Green Mighty Morphin Ranger, Valve Max Megazord, Tiger Drill Megazord, and White Mighty Morphin Ranger, and of course 3 ultra rares, the Swordfish Fencer Megazord, the Battle Mode Dragon Megazord, and Red Samurai Ranger in Shark Attack mode. So not too bad. Not too bad. Shouldn't be too hard to pick up the rest of those. And of course I do need to get my research brain on before this needs to go up as a Patreon post so I can figure out what happened with cards 91 through 120. Just where were they? But that's a problem for a bit later. Anyway, that is the end of today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy. And hopefully you will join me for tomorrow's Boxtoberfest video, where we are going to be opening some Dot Hack Enemy, another Decipher game. Very excited about that one, and I hope to see some of you then.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!